because I know learning data analysis, I will also gain experience on Excel, SQL, etc. That's why I want to learn it.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other person is Techno CK6. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've talked more about the company, the instructor, and we are here introducing ourselves and also asking question on why we are learning the data analysis. Okay. I need two more people before it takes over. Please, if you are talking, please address the words to me. If you're not talking, please mute your mic. I need two more people, please, before we start the class. Two more people. Miriam, Angela, Billy Keys, Techno, Miss David, Ahmed. Please, let's talk, please. We don't have much time for tonight. I'm with you people, please. Okay, one more person. One more person, please. One more person. I think Biliki wants to talk.
Together with you.
And also tonight, Mr. East, and an IT consultant, and also senior lecturer in National Institute for Technology, Asaba. So he's already here for us to take us on this journey. Someone is asking a question. Please, all your questions, please reserve for him, for Mr. Prosper. Once he's done with the class, if you have any question or as he's talking, you can drop your question in the chat so that I can see your questions, please. Thank you. Mr. Prosper, over to you, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Please, I would like to confirm if my audio is good. Good evening, everyone.
Your
audio. Okay, you have.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. So I believe you guys have gotten the entire introduction of this platform and the person talking to you this evening. I wouldn't want to spend more time on that so we can utilize the time schedule for this training. So I want to officially welcome all of us to this data analytics masterclass. I want to congratulate us for being able to be part of this training. And we want to say we appreciate you. So without taking our time, we are in for data analytics with advanced Excel. Data analytics with advanced Excel. So we are going to start with understanding what we shall be learning tonight. What we shall be learning tonight. So tonight I have few topics that actually wants to explain to us regarding to data analytics. And actually I wasn't 100% here while she was giving all that information to you guys. So I believe she must have mentioned it, but let me not just assume. By tomorrow, same time like this, I'll be kickstarting a complete training on data analytics using advanced Excel and SQL. So just in case you are not aware, I believe some of us, we are in our various WhatsApp community group. You must have as well gotten that information. All right, so we made a promise that the first 10 persons that we join, I believe she must have documented that. If I may just confirm before I proceed, Mrs. Rachel, do you have the 10 persons' name and their contacts?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No,
Or
no, you don't have their name.
they
So I
should
will get
drop,
their contact.
please, expected their contacts. Okay, can you call their name? Okay, how are you going to identify them? Because I want to give them special discount to join tomorrow's section. That is why I'm asking.
Okay. Can I call their names, sir?
Okay, calling their name, I'm not sure if I will be able to document it from my end.
Okay, I have done.
Okay, so you have the name. What I would advise is that are they aware you have taken down their names?
Yes.
Okay,
They are.
so if they are aware, they should use the message section to drop their name and their phone number so that you can be taking down that while the class is going on to avoid the interruption. I hope that is good. How many of them are
Yes,
here in
yes.
total? How many of them? Let me see if I can give all of them the discount. They are much. That's 16. Okay.
16.
Okay, so let's continue. I believe I may change my mind. Let me see if other will join. I think everybody in right now, 16 of them, they should write their name and their phone number, drop it in the comment section. Make sure you document it. Once I have covered 50% of what are planned for us tonight, I'm going to announce the special offer. So just help me to be documenting that. I hope that is taken so that I can dive into the main business.
Sir.
All right, so I know some of us might be wondering that what is data analytics is all about. And I know a lot of us must have researched. I must have discovered one or two things about data analytics. Data analytics is an exciting tech domain. Far back, let's say, let me not say far back, 2 years ago, data analytics was at the top, and currently is at the second. I'm very sure cybersecurity somehow, not because it's more lucrative, but because as a new introduced program to this part of the world, a lot of people tend to, tip toward that direction. But I gave a counsel in one of my sections as regard to how you can choose a tech course or tech field to practice. I believe as we proceed, I should be able to, maybe towards the end, I'll chip in some advice as someone who has spent 21 years in training, in modeling individual. I can tell us categorically on the aspects you should go that can profit you as far as technology is concerned. So what we shall learn tonight, the areas that are actually planned to cover in this section. Okay, so we'll be looking at general understanding what data analytics is all about. There is a concept, there is a mindset, there is a way we look at data. When we see data as professional or data experts, data means so much meaning to us. Data means so much sense to us. So we are going to discover that as we proceed. Then I also plan to cover what we call data wrangling. Data wrangling, or you can as well use the term monging. All these are field terms. Anybody in the field of data analytics or data science, somehow they are familiar with data wrangling. So if you follow me through, I am going to explain them to us in this section. Now, we're also going to look at some techniques on how to clean up our data. Data cleaning is one of the, I would say, is one of the most essential part of data analytics or working with data, because if your data is not perfect, if your data is full of errors, then it's as good as your insights will be misleading. So that is why in the field of data science or data analytics, we take our time to clean up this data. And we are not going to speak in tongues to clean up this data. We are going to deploy techniques and functions to do that. And all the functions we are going to deploy, all the techniques we are going to deploy, they are going to be limited to what the reason why we are here, which is what advanced Excel. So data cleaning actually cut across all the programs. So by the time if you are able to make it to the master class, the complete training, you will see that each of these tools, there are different ways or techniques on how to carry out data cleaning. The ways you clean data in Excel, they are quite different from the way you clean data in Python. The same way, the way you clean data in Power BI, in R, and even in other tools that are also involved in this field of data analytics. So we'll look at that, and then we'll also look at how do we prepare our data. There are approaches that need to be followed. All right, so we have steps that are sequenced. Sorry, that is, if you have not observed step A and you jump to step B, then your analysis might not be correct, or you might not be recognized as a professional. So I'm going to talk about that under what? Preparation of our data. And then if the time permits us, we are going to look at conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is one of the advanced data analytics function in Excel. Excel has about 6 advanced known functions: pivot table, lookup function, conditional formatting, and other two that are the key advanced functions that we deploy when it comes to data analysis. And then we should be to look at some real life data analysis projects. All right. So I actually plan to cover this. Initially, I was thinking that we'll be able to organize this for 2 meetings, but because of the tomorrow schedule, we have to cut it short. But I advise us to see how we can key in into that tomorrow section. All right. So make sure that you stay true. Make sure that you do not time out. Even if your network log you out, try as much as possible to reconnect, because toward the end, I'm going to give us some valuable information. And I don't know if she have told us that I have over 400, I think 430 masterclass video right in our official YouTube page. So that is a very resourceful place you can go to check more about us and the classes we have handled. So if she have not, please, you can drop the YouTube channel link in also. Drop it in the comment section so that they can follow it. All right. So now let's quickly look at what is data analytics. What is data analytics? That is the starting point, because I overheard some persons saying that they do not have any prior knowledge of this before coming here. If not because of the nature of this kind of webinar training, I will have given room to us for me to find out our level on Excel in particular, because that is the application that I'm going to focus on, to know if I should change the topic or I should proceed. But I'll try my best. Perhaps I have persons here that are new to Microsoft Excel. Don't worry. Just make sure that you are in that group. If you skate through and you are able to register, like tomorrow's session, I am going to spend the whole of that section and the next 2 classes just to settle everything that has to do with the basic aspect of Excel, which is majorly for record and for information management, without looking at it from the angle of data analytics, before we will now advance into the data analytics aspect of Excel, because we only consume the advanced aspect for data analytics. The basic and the intermediate aspect, they are for general public or general consumption. I'm talking about people who would like to work in the supermarket, that deals with tracking of record, developing data system. I will be taking all that in the first 3 classes in that master class. So I hope to see you there. So make sure that you stay tuned, because the discounts I'm going to give us, I expect every one of us here to be able to subscribe for that section. All right. So what is data analytics? Data analytics is the process of collecting. Now, if you look at the keywords that I bolded, I want us to pay good attention to those keywords. Data analytics is the process of collecting, right? Is the process of collecting. Let me see if I can take this out. Good. So data analytics is the process of collecting, organizing, and interpreting data to discover useful information. So the key word here is what? To discover. So our primary objective as data analysts, each time we have access to data, we look out for 3 things. And the mindset of looking out for these 3 things will lead you to the discoveries. So you are a goal, you have a goal. Once you are given a data set, you know, as a data master, as a data analyst, you know that, okay, at the end of analyzing this data, I am expected to present what we know as executive report. That executive report is actually, if I have to put it in a non-technical way, what it means is that interpreting your discoveries, your finding, in a way that a non-technical person can understand. That is why it's called data analysis. The word analysis means what? Breaking a complex situation down that can inform decision making. All right. So let's look at the keyword there. We talk about collection or collecting of data. Now, it is your responsibility. Remember, I mentioned when I was highlighting the topics I want to cover in this section, I mentioned data wrangling. Data wrangling is actually the process of gathering your data from various sources. So that is our first assignment as data analysts, because if we do not have access to data, it's as good as we cannot analyze. So our first assignment is to have access to data. So for example, if you are working for an organization, that aspect of gathering data is not going to be an issue, because the company must have collected the data for a period of time. And as soon as you come in, they hand over the data to you. And then in that case, they have already helped you out. But at the moment we are learning, and there is an open source, or there are open source. In other words, there are free domain within the internet where we can reach out to data that we track during live events in an organization, so that we can have a feeling of we are analyzing real data, not data that I will just come to Excel and compute with assumption. No, we don't analyze such data because we are not going to be able to bring out what? Actionable what? Insight that can trigger an action, that can make somebody to make informed decision. All right. So that is our first assignment, to collect. So why I am highlighting this, so that you know that it is your duty, it is your responsibility. If the company do not have, let me put it this way, it is your responsibility to collect data. Now, the collection of data that is attributed to you as a data analyst is not engineering the data. Data engineering is different from what? Maybe you are collecting data. For example, if I come into a company that I'm working with, I have to ask them for the data. Probably maybe their data will have been stored in their website or in the cloud storage. So I will ask them, please, can I have the data? That is, I am collecting the data. It's different from coming in and they do not have any data system. So in other words, I will not be the one that will engineer the data system. And that is part of what I'm going to be treating in tomorrow, the master class. How you can develop a data system, an automated data system. Because this is an aspect you can actually make money from. When I was in Lagos, I made a lot of money from this aspect of engineering data. Because one of the challenges we have in the part of the world we are, I don't want to mention the country. The challenge we have is that we don't have data system. So if you are learning this kind of program in Nigeria, I'm tempted to call the name, or in any of these Africa undeveloped or developing country, all right? The challenge they have is that they do not have data system. What is a data system? A data system is a model, all right, that helps you to what? To collect data for a period of time. And it can be programmed, part of it can be programmed to be performing calculation automatically by using Excel, maybe either VBA or using Excel advanced function to do the programming. Now, the challenge, for example, now, if you visit an average supermarket, you will find out the reason why they have not engaged the service of a data analyst is not because they do not know the value. The problem is that they do not have a data system to put the data together before bringing in a data analyst. That is the problem. So I'm selling this idea to you. After this training, you can earn this title. You can become data engineer. That is, your work is just to develop data system for filling station, data system for supermarket, data system for pharmacies, that can help them to track their daily transaction automatically. And then before is the service of a data analyst will not be involved. So what I'm trying to qualify here, because I said collection, the collection here does not mean engineering. It means you asking, getting the data from different words. If they have it in their website, you get it from there. If they have it in their cloud, you get it from there. That is the collection that pertains to us as professional data master or data analyst. All right. Now, talking about organizing your data, I'm still trying to simplify the definition. Because the moment you understand this simple definition, if that is the only word you understand in this section, is a plus. Now I've explained what collecting or collection mean. Now I'm talking about organizing data. Now let me talk on organizing data. You see, in the field of data analytics, there are many careers that can be developed from it. Some of us, we think that it is only a data analyst that does everything. Data analysis or data analyst is just a person that is also under the umbrella that does the work, that apply what we call a statistical method to derive insight that can help somebody to make informed decision. That is the work of a data analyst. But we still have some individuals which are called data cleaners. data cleaner. These are people that work directly with a data analyst in a standard setting. So in a standard setting, the job does not start from a data analyst. So the job starts from a data what? A data cleaner. In fact, it does not start from the data cleaner. It starts from the data engineer. So somebody have to engineer the system that will help the company to collect the data. And then if that system is not well engineered, there are possibility of not generating what we call structured data. It becomes unstructured. We have what we call structured data and unstructured. Structured data means data that is well organized, that that suits the analysis of what a data analyst. But when we talk about the unstructured data, this is a data set that somebody who is not in the field, a casual person, collected without capturing that a data analyst is going to what? Apply mathematical concepts and what? Statistical what? Techniques to analyze the data. So as a result of that, the person must have created the data in an unorganized format. So when such a data comes to your table, you pass it to a data what? Cleaner to organize it, to rearrange it before clean it up, before you can analyze it. Now look at the processes. You collect, you organize, and then analysis. What is analysis? Analysis is simply applying statistical what? Methods. All right? To be able to derive, to identify what we call pattern, trend, and what? Outliers. But because of time, I don't want to, let me just paraphrase so that you have an idea of what is called trend. Because once you are given a data set, 3 things you are looking for. At the end of your entire analysis, if you cannot present your report that define these 3 things, you have not done anything. You are as good as the owner of the data that has no clue on how to what? To analyze the data. For example, trend is just like when we say today that data analytics is trendy. That is what? Is rainy. So when you analyze your data, you should be able to tell us the variable that is what? Outperforming others. You should also be able to tell us the pattern. The pattern can be regressive. The pattern can be what? It can be regressive, and then it can be, I'm looking for the right word, regressive, and I'm looking for this word, it's escaping, but if I get, I will let you know. Right? Now, I'm talking about what? The direction can be what? It can be upward and what? Downward. So these are insights that will end up informing the organization at the end of your report. If the profit generated increased from the way it was, that is what? Progressive. Good, that's the right word. Regressive and progressive. All right? And that is what helps the organization to make informed decisions. We are like the counselor. We are like the advisor. We are the only people that can work we are the best candidate to work in admin. We are the best candidate to work as manager of a company. Because we make data-driven what? Decision. All right? We analyze data, and as a result of that, we are informed on how to change our strategy based on what the outcome of your analysis is. So I have explained the meaning of collecting, organizing, and analysis. Now, at the end of your analysis, and interpreting data. Now, that is a skill set that you must have. See, the what we call, if you are not ready to tell data story, don't bother what? Going into data analysis. That is the most interesting part of it. Ability to tell the story of your data. The stakeholder wants to hear you. You should be able to stand before them confidently and be able to dish out that after performing various analysis on this data, these are my findings and these are my recommendations. So like I told the last session that I organized, so that it is not every analysis that leads to what? Recommendation. But every analysis must lead to what? observation. No matter how, either the observation is positive or is negative. For example, if I analyze three variables, let's say my graph is telling me something like this. This is the profit made in January. And I have another graph telling me like this. This is profit made in February. And then I have another one. This is profit made in what? In March. So this is a regressive. Can you see it now? So if your report states this, then the company have to change their strategy. Some persons need to be sacked. Some persons need to be educated, or maybe oriented. The manager need to redeploy persons. Sometimes it is our work that lead to laying off staff, but sometimes we don't know. When you see at the end of the year, company coming up to conclude that this person should go, is as a result of the report of a data analyst that must have said that I was able to identify some lapses in this department, in that department. That is the reason why the profit is this. And then you will not give an advice that they should organize training for the staff. But where the staff cannot adapt, then they should be laid off. All right? So I need one person to unmute and tell me, sir, I am following. Let me know if I'm talking to people and if you are following. Just one person to unmute and say, sir, I am following.
Sir, I am following.
Thank you very much. All right, so now let's go further. Now look at the aspect I want to break down for us now. An interpretation. An interpretation. That interpretation is the storytelling. Your ability to be able to tell that non-technical owner of the company, that man that does not understand computer, for you to be able to come down to his level and explain your technicality, bringing it down to their level. Telling them what you observe, what you find out, because this is what they are going to base their decision on. That is why we say that data analytics is the process of what? Applying statistical method to derive insights. These insights are the finding that can influence smart decision making, not just decision, accurate decision making. You don't want to do trial by error. So now let's look at it here. Interpreting data to discover useful information, drawing conclusions, and support decision making. All right, so you should know your endpoint. Whatever you are doing, always know that you are doing it to help somebody to make smart decisions. If at the end of your entire activity and somebody is now getting more complicated, please, you are not qualified to work as a data analyst. Simple as that. Like I always tell my students that this is not a field that you gamble into. This is not a field that you start it and then you stop at the middle. You will end up endangering company. Let me give you a practical example so that you know that you can go to jail if you do not do your work very well as a data analyst. If you do not have the right skill to do the right thing, and at the end of the day, you end up misleading someone to invest billions of naira thinking that your insights are genuine. At the end of the day, the person loses the money. Imagine Dangote, for example. Dangote has a lot of what? And even government, there are analysts. And his own analyst must have done analysis of profit generated from each state, from each local government, where he has his own company, coverage, and must have tendered a report. Whenever he wants to invest billions of naira, he will consult his analyst that what is the profit?
Data analytics.
What is the profit saying? So just imagine after presenting your report to Dangote that, okay, since you have 10 billion to invest, I will suggest my analysis based on the current status of your data. Because now we should see data as the past status of that company and where they are. And that is why as a data analyst, you must have access to historical data. Historical data is a data that has been collected for a period of time that is given to you. And then you will not check. Then it is
the outcome of that analysis that will now determine your predictive what analysis, which we are going to find out in a moment. So just imagine you present a report to Dangote that based on yesterday profits and where we are today, sir, invest 10 billion out of the 10 billion, invest 5 million in Meduguri, invest 1 million in Lagos. Based on the profit generated from this, I discovered that more of your potential customer are from this particular region. Let more of your profit goes to this particular area. So you can see the way a data analyst is not guiding him to invest the money accurately. Now, at the end of the day, the man now listen to you and go and invest. At the end of the day, more profit is not coming just because you present your report based on assumption, which is very dangerous. That is what I'm talking about. You shouldn't assume. It should be, and the reason why some analysts will assume is because they are short of skill. They are short of the method to get the right information. So what they will do is just to assume. So that's why I say it's not the program you gamble into, and then you learn it halfway, you run away, and then start calling yourself a data analyst. You end up what? A destroyer of what? Company. And that will not be your portion. Now let's look at this here. Now, in a simple way, data analytics means turning raw data, numbers, tests, record into meaningful insight that help people make better what? Decision. If a company was generating 6 million, by the time you come in and you start analyzing, they should see the profit going up, because your analysis will inform them per time to change their operational logic or method that will end up making them, because your analysis will help them to what? To improve on their customer relationship. If, for example, now you analyze the data and at the end of the day, we discover that customers are not buying very well, and then you are able to find out that there's a reason. Maybe the current policies, the current method you are using are not working. What do you do immediately? You change. But at the you did not analyze the data, you will have keep using that same method till your company finally close. All right. So let's quickly go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. I believe now let's quickly talk about why data analytics. Why data analytics? I'm trying to be fast with this aspect so that we can look at some practical. Now, why data analytics? Why data analytics? We should know that. Now, learning data analytics is one of the smartest decisions you can make today. You see, I'm a cybersecurity specialist. I believe you must have discussed that. I have vast knowledge in 5 major aspects of technology. All right, but that is why I can tell you, some of us we think that cybersecurity, you should be careful when you are choosing a tech field. There are some persons that have made mistake, and at the end of the day, they discover what? That is not where they should be. But you see, this program is a program that you can fit anywhere. You can work in any company, particularly those of us that study statistics, those of us that study business admin, those of us that study it has to do with what? Information management. This is where you should be. You'll be more productive here, because data is everywhere. Data is everywhere. You know, since COVID-19, the whole world eyes open. All right. So many countries were not able to distribute palliative, not because they are wicked, but because before the incident, they don't have data. Because data is what we help them to distribute the fund accurately. So why data analysis? Because data is everywhere, and those who can understand it are in high demand. So why data analysis? 1, better decision making. Data analytics helps you make informed decision, not guesses. You know.
Sorry, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me, please. Sorry, I was timed out before. Can you hear me?
Somebody should confirm if you can hear me, please. Quickly.
Please confirm if you can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Hello? Can hear me if you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Okay.
I can.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we were still talking about why data analytics, right? So let's look at the second reason. Data analytics identify trend and patterns, like I've mentioned before. All right, so you can discover customer behavior. As a result of analyzing your data, you can discover customer behavior, sales trend, business opportunity. All right, so it helps organization plan for the future. So you can see the reason why every company needs the service of what? A data analyst. Whether you like it or not, the way the world is going right now, a time will come, almost every organization must have a data analyst. That is why if you travel out of the country, if you go to developed world, they don't joke with data. Most of their decisions are based on data. That's why they are more accurate. They are more accurate. They don't waste resources. You don't experience policy somersaulting. But here, they just assume based on what is happening in one of the states, like Lagos State, they will use to generalize all the states. All right? But in a developed country, they have accurate data. If you tell them how many persons are unemployed in sorry, my network issue here. So I think before I proceed, I think I'm still having the same 16 persons. Okay, let me still continue. I believe since Mrs. Rachel, hope you have their contact so that we can reach out to them. You have their contact, right? Documented. Is
Yes,
Rachel
I
still
have
here?
their contact.
Okay, so let's see the time now. What is going to happen is that before I go into the practical aspect, I just want to quickly complete this foundational aspect. We need to understand all this that I'm talking about, because this is where your mindsets will be right. All right. This is one of the most interesting part of it. You understanding what this is all about is very important, not just diving into the practical. Otherwise, you just go there without knowing why you are doing things. That is why I'm taking my time to break down this to us. So now, let me see, I just have a few things to talk about. So I've explained why data analytics. I've explained why data analytics. So I still proceed by telling us that what high demand and high income skills. Data analytics is needed in the banking system, the healthcare businesses. In fact, the hospital now and everywhere they need data analysts. This hello, can anybody hear me? This is like somebody, the host has been assigned to. Let me see. Mm. Please, can you see my screen? Somebody should confirm. Can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can see my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, I think you should be able to see my screen. Let me confirm my audio again. I just have to switch to another network. Can you hear me? I just need one
Yes,
person
I
to.
can.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
thank you,
Yes,
thank
you
you,
can now.
thank you. All right. All right. So, so like I was saying, I think this is the last aspect of why data analytics. Why data analytics. So let's quickly talk about the key step, which I have already observed. I have already explained these key steps. This is exactly, I think I just used 1 hour because I actually wanted to spend 1 hour for this introduction and then the remaining 1 hour for the practical, so we can work with data. So let me just quickly run us through this, but though I have indirectly explained everything you are seeing here. The key step in data analytics: data collection, which means gathering data from sources; data cleaning, removing errors or duplicate; data analysis, using tools like Excel to examine data; data visualization means presenting data using charts or dashboards. That is one of the most interesting parts of this field, ability to create dynamic and interactive dashboard. And then finally, decision making means using the insight to take action. Simple as that. So you can see, start from data collection, you clean, you analyze, you visualize, so that you can easily see the trend, the pattern, and the outlier. And then finally, what you present your insight. So with this, we can now look at some data analytics tools, so you know how we are going to be led to Excel that we want to focus on right now, right? So the best data analytics tool today, number one, is spreadsheet tool for beginner level. For beginner level, for those that want to go into data analytics, they should not jump to Python. They should not jump to SQL. They should not jump to Power BI. They should not jump to Tableau. They should not jump to R. They should start from understanding Excel. Once you have a very strong foundation in Excel, I can assure you that you will be a successful what? Data analyst. Follow the process. All right. Now, Google Sheets. Google Sheets is just like Google Sheets has it's just like a self version of Google that you can have access to by logging in or creating an account with your email address. So if you enroll for the main program, that the one that is starting tomorrow, this same time, and to be running on Friday and Saturdays only, the same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., twice in a week, we are going to expose you to this Google Sheets. In fact, we will also expose you to how you can work with other Google applications like Docs and other like PowerPoint and the rest. Now, business intelligence, that's what BI tool. So these tools help you visualize and present data professionally, like Microsoft Word, Power BI, right? So having said all this, now we go into the main business, which is the Excel. So I would like to ask here, how many of us, I just want 3 persons to reply me. I don't know if, Rachel, you can give me that statistics. I believe you must have found out from few of them their prior knowledge of Excel to know if I am talking to persons who have already settled the basic aspect of Excel or not. I just need 3 people. If you can give me the statistics, I believe you must have asked few of them. Let me use that one as a benchmark to proceed.
All right. Some of them don't have knowledge and they wish to have the knowledge.
Okay.
Why some studying computer science and wish to
Okay.
dive into data analysis.
Data
And
analytics.
some
Okay.
are studying other course that data want to know about this is rather.
All right. So I will try as much as possible to see just check your WhatsApp. Okay, now let's proceed. So I am going to try as much as possible to make sure that every one of us have something to go home with. Whether you came in here without any Excel knowledge, or you have maybe some knowledge of Excel before now, what we actually advertise is what? Data analytics using advanced Excel. So that means that there was no plan for basic. But like I said, if you join the tomorrow section, we will be able to start from, we'll take care of that properly. But I would like to ask, I think at this point, I need to give out the offer. I need to give out the offer because I can see that some persons are no longer here. But I believe that you must have captured their details in case you want to reach out to them with this offer. So ordinarily, the class that is commencing tomorrow, data analytics with advanced Excel and SQL, is costing them 50,000. It's costing them 50,000. But because you choose to be here, and because you have demonstrated interest, for those that will be able to pay between now and tomorrow, before the class commence, let them pay just 10,000. Let them pay just 10,000. For those that can afford, I just want to, because I can see the commitment here. A lot of persons, you have stayed tuned all this while, and I want to encourage you. For data analytics with advanced Excel and SQL is the first phase that we are looking at. When we are done with that, we continue with Python and Power BI. But for just these first two, they are paying 50,000. And then, but you, if you can pay now or pay before tomorrow, I believe she have your contact. She will reach out to you. If you can drop the company account detail on the message section so that those that want to pay. But when you pay, make sure that you share the receipts in the group, or you share it with me directly at 07069. Let me see if I have the number here. I have it. Okay, so this is the number. So you can pay and send the receipt. Only those that can pay today, as we are talking now, and before the starting of the program tomorrow, 8 p.m., they are the only persons that I'm giving, particularly people that are here. All right. So I believe I want to hear from anybody who, just few persons. Let me just take from 3 persons that will say, sir, I appreciate the offer, before I proceed to the practical aspects we have for tonight's session. Do I have anybody saying anything? The account detail has been published via the message section. So if you make payment, please make sure you share your receipt so that we can add you to the group.
Appreciate the offer.
Somebody is saying something. Please, can you say it again?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody say cannot hear anything.
The offer.
though maybe the network is from your end. I believe others can hear me. I believe others can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the okay, I can see somebody say appreciate. Okay. So thank you. So
Good
yeah, good evening. I believe this interaction please use the message, and Rachel, please help me to keep dropping that information in the message section so that it doesn't interrupt the class, because if we give everybody room to be talking now, that will be, somebody said that, are we going to be certificate? I think she can answer that. She must have said that, yes, this is a registered platform, and perhaps you want internationally recognized certification. I believe she told you that with the help of my presence at National Institute of Information Technology, NIT, I'm one of the senior faculty there. So I have alliance with them. I can help you. Once you obtain the training for us here, we can help you get the international certificate from them for you. But we have a registered certificate. This platform is registered for those that have been following us. Certificates will be given at the end of the training. At the end of the training, you are going to do a project. You're going to defend a project. So once you are able to pass that project, your certificate will get across to you wherever you are. We'll bill it to you. But the only thing is that if it's coming to, there are some regions that you might pay for the way bill, or we give you the e-copy and then you can print. All right, so let's proceed. Richard, please continue to publish that information. And those that are paying, please, once you make payment, 10,000 for only persons that are attending. I think you are just 16. So instead of just the first 10, please give it to all of them. Any of them that can pay that amount, fine. So let's proceed. Now, I was asking if we have prior knowledge of Excel, and like the report I got now, it shows that 50-50. Some persons that are here do not even understand what Excel is, while some have attempted using it. It's all fine. So if you are able to secure it, tomorrow we will start from pedagogic aspects. All right, how to engineer data. I'm going to start from that aspect tomorrow. So let's continue. So I will just do a brief of introduction. What is Excel? Let me do a brief of introduction of Excel. Now, Microsoft Excel is an office application software, all right? And it's also known as a spreadsheet. It's also known as a spreadsheet application that has a library that can accommodate over 1,048,576 records. Why I'm giving all these statistics now, so that you know why it's actually recommended for data analysts. Because we work with much data. So sorry, like I was saying, we work with much data. So any data analyst that want to analyze data, we surely look for a framework, a platform that helps him or her to hold the data, and not just holding 2 or 3 data. He or she will definitely look for a platform that can help him or her to hold what? Large data. All right? So Excel single sheet. This is what we mean by single sheet. If you click on this plus, you get another word, a sheet added. So the more sheets you click, so you can see that it came with just a single sheet, but right now I have been able to add additional 3 sheets. So what the statistics I'm giving you now is that a single sheet like this alone has over what? 1,048,576 rows. And each of these rows can hold what? A record. So which means to us as data analysts, one of the reasons why we choose Excel, one of the reasons why Excel is recommended for us, because it has a framework, it has a spreadsheet, it has a very big environment or large environment, that can help us to what? To hold data. So that is one of the reasons why Excel is recommended for us. All right. So with that understanding, and even on this same Excel, because when we talk about data set, like I'm going to bring our data in a moment. When we talk about a data set is actually defined as the collection of data objects and data series. Object in this context means the header, the attribute. For example, now if I'm talking about sales inventory, there will be an attribute that will record customer name. There will be an attribute that will record what? The quantity, the date of transaction, and the rest. So now, if we want to find out that how many attributes you can create in the data set in a single sheet, just like I told us now that in a single sheet, we can create 1,048,576 what record, right? Now, if we are asked how many heading, what I'm saying is this, just like I say customer name, and then I come here and say what? Product name. So how many of these heading? Because the vertical spaces labeled with alphabet, they are called columns, while the horizontal spaces labeled with number, they are called what? Rows. And I just told us now, right now we are seeing only from 1 to 20. Does it mean it stopped there? The answer is no. So it kept going down until you get to what? 1,048,576. And each of these rows, they are designed to hold a record. So now, how do I also know how many of these columns do we have also on the same sheet? This is column 1 holding customer name. This is column B holding what? Product name. How many of them are we going to have? How many of them do we have before you get to the end? We have 16,384 what? Columns or attributes in a single sheet. So now this is where I'm going, so that some of us that want to stop at Excel, so that you know the implication of it as a data analyst. Now, for example, if I want to see, we were able to see, okay, if I want to see the last row, you just click anywhere here, hold down the control button on your keyboard, and then press the shift button, and then press the down arrow button. That will automatically take you from the beginning to the end. And if you look here now, you can see this is the value that I mentioned, 1,048,500 what? After that row, that is where it ends. So if I want to go up now, the same thing, control and shift, and then press the what? The up arrow key, and that brings you up. Now, but these are alphabets. So you take your time to count if you want to confirm that, but I've done that on your behalf. So, and I arrive at what? 16,384, which means that there is no company, there is no individual that has ever exhausted what? The column, but you can actually exhaust what? The rows. Because I have not seen any data set that we have that number of column or headings. So how do I move automatically to the last one? You hold down the same control button, the shift, and then look for the arrow that faces the direction you want to select to. And then once you press it, you see that what? It will take you there. Let me know, highlight, just click in a single cell and click. So you can see it. So the last essay, sometimes when you go for an interview and they want to screen people out, they will ask these few questions. That in a single Excel sheet, how many columns do we have there? Which means how many headings in a data set can be created. And I just told you now, if you start counting from A to before you get to this SFD, you must have counted what? 16,384. That is what makes it a spreadsheet. So when next you see any material saying Excel is a spreadsheet, you now understand the reason why it is referred to as what? A spreadsheet. It has a very wide environment. But I just decided to show us that, but where we are going right now is the analysis. Remember the steps that we highlighted. We said you get data. Now I want to show us how we can get data from an open source called what? Kaggle. Now, as someone who is learning data analytics that do not have access to company data, there is a recommended platform where you can always go to get what? Well-structured data. And these are data that students that have learned in some platform submitted their project, and we are going there to get their data, and then we leave the analysis because we want to perform the analysis ourselves. So let me get a response from at least one person if I am following. One person should unmute and respond, sir, we are following. Let me just know if we are catching the topics or the lecture. Just one person who is going to do that.
Following.
All right. All right. Okay, so now let's look at data wrangling. Like I told you before, data wrangling is the process of gathering data, bringing data from different sources. And I just said it now, one of the recommended platforms where you can get data is where I'm going to take us to, which is called Kaggle. Now, how do we get to the Kaggle? You open a browser. When you open the browser, you search for, you go to the website, www.kaggle.com. This is the website. Now, even as we proceed, by the time you register, you will always go there to get structured data, because you need to practice with real data that were collected from real activities in a company. All right, so these are data that company publish. And because they publish it, this particular individual created a website and loaded the data there for what you and I, those that are learning that do not have access to organization data, to what to learn with. So the way you are going to analyze it, that is how the company data that is given to you will be analyzed as well. So let's quickly dive in there. Let's go to the website. Now, the only thing you need to access this website is for you to sign in to create an account with your Gmail or your email. So if I discover that the network is not fast, I will just call out a data set that I have downloaded and just use it. But I only wanted us to understand this process, but instead of the internet slowing us down, if you join the tomorrow session, we are going to take our time. Now, if you join that master class, the lecture is not going to be fast like this. In fact, you'll be sharing your screen. I'll be checking what you are doing. It's not going to be just one-side communication. So it's going to be interactive. Other people are working, and then you'll be able to share ideas with one another. So it's as if the internet is going to slow us down, but I really wanted us to see how, but I will just explain the process. So once it's open, you'll be asked to register or you sign in. If you have an account, you key in your login detail, and then you have access. When you get there, you click on data. But I believe that I will have a good number that will be joining tomorrow's section so that you can learn the process. It will take time to go through it properly. So now I have a data set that I've already gotten from this place we are going to. So I'm going to load the data, and then we will now start learning some techniques on how to clean up the data, on how to examine the data, like the step we outlined there as standard steps we are supposed to follow as data analysts. So I'll leave the website loading in case it's open. I may come back to it. So going back to Excel, all right, so I believe you can hear me now. So so I have a folder where I have downloaded my data. So what I'm going to do is just to to load the data set from there. So that is how you are supposed to work as an expert. When the company give you, if you are working remotely as a consultant, as they are giving you the data, you are storing them in different words. You are storing them in different folder. All right. So in my own case, I have a folder that I have assembled the data. Let me see if I can quickly find. So I have a folder where I've already assembled my data. So I think I should be able to find the data in my raw data. All right. So as soon as you are given the data, the first thing is for you to create a copy of that data. You save it in a separate place so that in the process of cleaning it, if you mistakenly delete it or maybe destroy it, you can always fall back to it. So sorry about the network. Okay, so I'm going to load this data. Let's say I load this data. All right. So now, like I told us the other time, our first responsibility as a data or as data analyst is to understand this data, is to examine the data. And in examining the data, we are not going to use our eyes. We are going to deploy what? Statistical method. We are going to deploy logic, to understand this data. So when a data set is given to you like this, because you are not the one that created this data, so it is normal that you do not rush into analysis. Understand this data. Now, in understanding this data, there are key questions. I refer to them as silent questions you should ask yourself. These are not the questions you should ask your neighbor. These are not the questions you should ask your friend. These are not the questions you should ask your boss. These are questions within you. And answering this question, we answer the what? Understanding what? Task. For example, the first thing is for you to create another sheet. All right? Is to create another sheet. And what do I want to do with that sheet? That sheet is going to act as my dashboard. It's going to serve as my dashboard. So this is the data source. Then I will click here to create another sheet. And then how do I rename the sheets so that I can differentiate them? So I can double click here and name this sheet to what? Data. All right. And then come to where I have the one I added, double click on it also, name it what? Dashboard. Name it what? Dashboard. All right. So the next thing I am going to do is to create a navigation button. To create a navigation button. What do I mean? If I am in the data here, if I'm in the dashboard, I should be able to click a button that will target it, because it will get to a point whereby you have so many sheets, then at a point some will be wrapping. So each time you want to access the content of a sheet, you will have to be scrolling. So that is not a professional way of handling that. So what I'm going to do is this, just pay attention. So I create another sheet. I name that sheet my report sheet. This is going to be, in fact, let me give them the right name. This is going to be analysis sheet. Why this one is, okay, let me name it analysis dashboard so that to make more sense. Analysis what? Dashboard. Now, this one is navigation dashboard. Navigation dashboard. Let's say, for example. All right. Now, I want my navigation dashboard to come first. So how do I change this order? I want my navigation dashboard to come first, not data. So how do I change the order? Look at what I'm going to do. I am going to come to this one, click and hold down the left button, and then keep moving. You can see that arrow there. Keep moving. Then once you see the arrow coming exactly where you want it, you drop. So what I've done now, I have changed the positioning. Now, the next one that should follow after this, I have data. After data, I have my analysis. Good. Now, I will now go to my navigation dashboard. What is navigation dashboard in the field of data analytics? Navigation dashboard, as the name implies, navigate. So it is a dashboard with a collection of buttons that helps you to move from one sheet to another, or from one report to another, or from one content to another within the Excel workbook.
So that is a navigation dashboard. So I'm going to spend some time to design it. So the first thing I'm going to do in this navigation dashboard, I'm going to turn off all the grid lines. I am going to turn off all the heading, all these A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, all this vertical line. I want to turn them off so that it will look as if it's a kind of integrated app to make it look neater. So how do I turn them off? So let me take this out. How do you turn them off? You go to view. Then once you click here, you have turned off what? All the A, B, C, D, and the 1, 2, 3. Now, I want to also turn off all the vertical and the horizontal line. So that is what? Grid. So this is just like looking like Microsoft Word environment. So what do I want to do here? Now, I will create a panel, a section. So I will go to Insert, all right, and then make a shape. Then click on this shape. Then I will just have a vertical word panel here. All right, so this is just like a panel. Then give it color. I can give it maybe this color. Sorry, click on it and give it the color you want. And make sure that your color usage matter when you are designing dashboard. All right, now here, I want to add a kind of button here. So I will use Smart Shape. Why? Because Smart Shape will give me 3D what? Effect. So I'll go to Insert and then go to Smart. And then from Smart, I will choose a circular one and then I will choose this. All right. Then after clicking OK, and then I have the design here to form my dashboard. And I want to switch them from 2D to 3D. So I'll just come to this section and say I want them to look like this, or I want them to look like this, or I want them to look like this. All right, so I can go and click and write the text. So here, this is a button that will connect us to data. For example, let's assume that you have about 1, 2, 3, 4 different worksheets where you are performing what? Analysis. And you need a button in your navigation dashboard that you can click whenever you want to target any of them, and then Excel will target those sheets for you. So let me name this center one as what? Analysis. Let's say what? Dashboard. Let me name it a dashboard. All right. Then let me name this one data. And then let me name this one analysis report or analysis. In fact, let me just name it report. So let me name this one as another report. And then let me name this one as another report. So I think what I will have done is to differentiate them. Let's say this is report 3. I can come back here, click, edit it. This is report 2. Okay, so let me say this is, sorry, I didn't type this correctly. This is report 1, for example. Now, I can change the color. Remember, you can increase it here, expand it from the edge. Then you can click here to change the color. You want the one that will give you multiple color so that at least each of the button will be differentiated. All right. So if not, because I don't want to interrupt the internet, so I will have gone to internet and download some buttons that I can use to form my panel. But let me just go ahead with this. So now the next thing I'm going to teach you now is how do we connect this button such that when you click on it, it automatically brings you here. That's the next thing, because that is the essence of what? The navigation dashboard. So how do we connect? You click on it. Look at the selection, not like this. You select it like object selection, and then you right click on it, and then you select what? Link. And then it will open a dialog box like this. And at the moment the dialog box is open in exist file or web page. So you switch to what? Place in this document. And then you see the list of all the sheets. So from here, you click on the particular sheet you want that button to target, and then click OK. And then you press Ctrl S to save. Now click outside, go to that button, you see the hand sign. So if I click now, look at it, that button has automatically connected me what? To this sheet. So what you should do is for you to also have a button here that can take you back to the dashboard. So should in case you are here and for one reason or the other you want to go to the dashboard, you can easily navigate from here to the dashboard. All right. So I will just create a shape. I go to insert and then I go to shape and let me just create anything here just to represent it. All right. So I was creating a button. Now the next time this button, I will just name it what? Back. Sorry. Back to dashboard. So I'm not concerned with the formatting so that we can get to where we are going. So now the same thing I'm going to do. So I will click on the button as if I'm selecting it as an object, right click on it, then select that same link. And then when it opens up this, then target dashboard. So this is where I want it to take me back to. And then I click, then Ctrl S. Then by the time you click outside, go and tap it again, it brings you back here. So from here, I connect to what? To the data sheet. From here, I connect back. So that is how you can create what? Connecting button within what? Sheets. Please, I need one person to say, I am following. Let me know if we are following. Just one person to say, I am following before I continue.
I am following. All
right. So now the next thing is this. Now we have just created a navigation. So let me connect this. Let me connect this to this sheet. So the same thing, click on it, right click on it, select link, then I'm connecting it to this sheet, and then click, then save, Ctrl S, then step out, go back there and click, you see that you are here. Then the same thing, create a button here, connect it back to your dashboard. All right. So after we have settled that, now let's go to our data now to begin to understand the data. Like I told us that when you are given a data set like this, the first thing you do is to understand the data. So what is the first silent question you should ask yourself to understand this data? The first question is, how many headings are in this data set? Before you start analyzing your data, understand what is the length, because the heading automatically informs us what? The length. While the numbers of record inform us what? The height of the data. Most time, that is what will determine how much you charge that company. All right. So how do we answer it? The answer should be in my dashboard, not in the data. So I will write that question here. So I can highlight the whole of this section and just paint it with what? A background color, and then use word art text, go to insert, then go to text, then select word art, and then choose any of this symbol. Because I want to write a design text. So I will say what? Analysis, or I can just say what? Report. I can say insight, report sheet. Then carry it and put it here to form, because this is a dashboard. Your dashboard must be interactive and it must be dynamic. So I am going to merge these sets together and write the question there, so that whenever I'm here, I know the question I'm answering. So one of the skills that you need to have is the ability to draft analysis question. This is the connection. If you don't understand your data, you cannot draft effective analysis question. And if you cannot draft effective analysis question, you cannot derive what? Meaningful insights. And if you cannot derive meaningful insights, then your findings are not useful. So how do I merge them together? How do I merge this? How do I merge this set of cells? These are part of the basic things. You go to home and then you click on this place. You choose any of these. So I'm choosing merge and center, which means that what? Collapse them, and whatever I write should be centralized. So I click on this. You can see that what? You have collapsed. Why? Because that's where I want to write the question. What's the question? Is that what? How many headings? Let me use a basic word that we can understand. In the data sets. So it's a kind of silent question. Now, you need to make sure that this write-up is presentable. You need to have color scheme. Don't use too many color. When you are creating a dashboard, sometimes you can just work with what? One color and then combine black and white together. So I will just what? Maybe give the text this color and then the background just to silence, just make it like this. Then the answer will be outputted here. Now, this is where we are going to involve statistical what? Method or function to answer the question. This question says that we should count. Look at this. When you do not understand the function to do this for you easily, this is one of the reasons why the owner of the data actually what? Need you, because they are considering counting 1-1. So they need an expert that understands data language, that knows functions that he can deploy to get this done within what? Few minutes. For example, if you don't know the function I'm going to use now, what you will have done is to answer that question, you come here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imagine. So because I'm a data analyst that know the tools that I need to get whatever I want, so I will come back here, I will use count function. And this count function I'm using is going to be count A. Why? Look at it here. The kind of data you are counting, they are tests, they are not number. So whenever you are counting tests, you don't use count, you use count A. So I'll now come here. Remember the general principle of Excel. When you are entering formula, you start with equal sign, all right? And then you type what? Count. By the time you type count, Excel is going to display the keyword, the functions that are saved in each library with the keyword you have typed. Now with this, I know the one I'm going to. So I'll just select this one, double click on it to complete it. And the function says what? Okay, give me the range. That range is called argument. From where to where do you want me to count? So, and the value we are counting, unfortunately, they are not in this sheet. So this will take us to what we call inter-sheet referencing. Excel word, inter-sheet referencing, which means you are writing a function in one sheet and you are referencing the function to values in another sheet. So how do we do that? I will switch to that data and then specify the starting point. Where do I want to select the count from? I want to start from what? The first one. You click on it. After you have clicked on that first one, you hold down the control button on your keyboard, press down the shift button also. Then towards your right hand side, you are going to see 4 arrows. One is facing up, one is facing down, one is facing right, one is facing left. Now I am highlighting towards my what? Right hand side. So I'll press what? This. Excel is sensitive enough to know where the record stop and stop there exactly. Now I will press enter from here and then the value, the calculation is outputted here. So which means that I now understand that the data I am given to analyze have what? 21 headings. And what does that tell you as a data analyst? It means that what? This is a huge data set. So if you want to charge, you know how to charge. But unfortunately, time will not permit us to go far. So that is why I encourage us to make sure you don't miss tomorrow's session. whatever the challenge is, reach out to us. This platform has a way of assisting people. It's not just about money. We believe in making impacts. That is why we can even arrange a free training like this with you. So whatever it is that could stop you from joining that tomorrow session, please WhatsApp me directly. WhatsApp me on 07069665919. Just make sure you WhatsApp me on this number. Whatever the challenge is, WhatsApp me. You can never tell. WhatsApp me, and then so that you do not miss that section, because I'm going to explain the basic aspect. So now that we have outputted that, I know we have just 1 minute left, but I just want to do one more thing before I open the line for questions for just extra 5 minutes before we bring the meeting to a close. Now, here we have just answered that question, which is part of questions you ask yourself as a data analyst while you are trying to understand the data. Now, another question I will ask myself to understand the data. Now I know how many headings. Now, I should also know how many records are in this data set. That is another question. So I'll go back to my analysis dashboard. I will copy the whole of this. All right. So just right click on it, highlight, right click, or just click here and drag it down, and that will repeat what you have written here. So click here and then change it. So change the question to what? How many records? Because of time, let me go this way. How many records are in the data set? That is the question you are asking here. So I'll delete this. Now, the same way equals to count. So because I'm going to count a column, I'm going to count values in a column that are number. So I will use just count. I will not use what? Count A, so that you can also understand that one. And it says I should specify the value. That is the range. So I'm going back to the data set. Now, because I'm using count, I cannot select this value because these are tests. So I'll make sure that I select value that are numbers. And the same number of record I have here, definitely I'm going to have here. So I'll say, okay, I want to use this to count. From here, press the same control button, the shift and down arrow button, then press it, and then Excel will also stop exactly where the last record is, and then press enter, and then it output it here. So which means that what? We have 150 what? Record. So part of what you will learn in this program is report writing, your analysis report writing, because we are going to learn PowerPoint. Normally, this is just where you are gathering your technical finding. When you are through, you don't show the stakeholders this. They have no business in your Excel. So you now go to PowerPoint and write your report. But when you are writing your report in PowerPoint, you will not be coming here to get the what? The metrics. So that is the report writing aspect. It's not just analyzing. You analyze, you write reports. It's part of what we are going to learn. All right. So I want to answer one more question. And once I'm done answering that question, and then we call it a session. All right. Now, the next analysis question is, let me collapse this, and this is going to be the last one. I want to make sure that even if you did not pay to join the paid class, at least spending 2 hours, you should be able to learn something that you can, attempt interview with. Now, here, I want to collapse again. And what is the question? The company wants to know. Let me take you back to the data. The question we want to answer now is this. Very valid question. The company wants to know the net salary, the total of net salary per department. So for marketing department, they want to know how much net salary. For security department, they want to know how much is the net salary. So that is the question, and that is going to be the last question. So what is the question? Analyze the total net salary per department. That is the question, per department. So now I want to give this same format to this test. What I will do to save my time is to click on that test with that format, then touch this command under Home. It's called what? Format Paint. So once you click on it, it has copied the appearance of this. And once I touch here, it will drop the appearance. That is to save my time so that I don't start highlighting, coming here to choose color. All right. So now this question is what we call categorical analysis question, where you are comparing. We can also refer to this as what? Comparison what? Analysis. Because we are comparing the what? The net salary per what? Unique department. So the first thing you are going to do is to list out all the unique departments. How do you list them out? Instead of you typing, you know that in your data set, there's a place where they have been typed. So you go there and highlight everything, Control-C to copy them, go back to your dashboard, then I'll place it here, Control-V to paste them. Now that I've pasted them, I will remove duplicates because I want one marketing to represent all the marketing transactions in the data set. I want one security to represent all the security transactions, so not to be repeated. So that takes us to one of the data cleaning method, which is what? Remove duplicates. And how do we go about that? Select the range and then go to what? Data. Go to data. When you get to data, click on this icon, right? Which means what? Remove duplicate. Once I click on it, Excel will tell you that, yes, I have found what? Duplicated value in a column labeled what? A. You agree with that by clicking OK. And then you get a reply that 141 duplicate value found and removed. Then you have 10 unique departments. That is a valid analysis question that you might include in your report. That after your analysis, you discover that the company have what? 10 unique departments. All right. So now I will now come here and write what? Double click here to expand it instead of you manually dragging it. All right. Now, where you notice you are having things lapping each other, you just trace the line to the top here, double click, it will automatically what? Adjust it. So what do I want to put here? The total what? Net. So I will just type what? Total net. Sorry, we're supposed to have closed by now, but let's just there. Now, total net salary, rather, total net salary, that is what the question says. Total net what? Salary. All right. Now, I will want this heading to have this format. So I'll go again, click here, then go back to your home, then capture the format, then highlight this. So the only thing I'm going to do here is like this switch to what? Let me click here. I want to see what happened. Oh, sorry. Sorry, we cannot capture it out because of we merged this cell. So let me just quickly click because the headings must be unique from the values that you are getting under them. All right. So now this is where we are going to write our function. So here we need a cell intermediate statistical function. All right. A conditional function, because the question says that we are summing up values in, you are summing up value under net salary based on the department, which means that I may get to a value under net salary that when I trace it, is not equal to what? The marketing. So Excel will not add that. So we are going to use a function called what? Sum if. Sum if. That if is what? Is a conditional what? Statement. So you only add if the criteria is met. You do not add if the criteria is not met. So how do we communicate it? So I will say what? Sum if. Sum if. So the one that have S has its own meaning. So we'll talk about that. That one falls under advanced, but we can't get there, but we'll get that in the full training. So I'll just double click here. Now look at the criteria here. It says range, comma, criteria. Range, comma, criteria. What does range mean? Range means what? The selection of the cell values where the criteria is. And what's the criteria? Marketing. So which means that what? You are only going to sum up values under net salary that when you trace them are equal to what? Marketing. So the question now is that where is marketing mentioned in your data set? That is the range. So I will go to the data and capture what? I will capture department. And when I am capturing department, I click on the letter. What would that do? That will create room for future. If by tomorrow this company enter anything marketing, if they record any marketing, it will automatically what? Update in my analysis dashboard. But if you stop here, if by tomorrow they capture another entry and they put marketing here, it means that what? The marketing value will not be analyzed in your dashboard. That is why I click on the letter so that it will capture both the used cell and the empty cell, waiting for values to come in there. Now you put a comma. All right. Now, once you add a comma, it asks you for criteria. Criteria is you go back to your analysis dashboard, you pick marketing, because at the moment, the criteria for summing up the values under net salary will be marketing. All right. Then this function, you put a comma, this function can only add number. It cannot add text. So what we have done, you have only defined the criteria that will be used to determine the values that will be summed up under what? Net salary. So you must go and capture the net salary value. So once you add your comma, you go back to the data and then capture everything you have here. Click on the letter U so that if by tomorrow the company capture any other information, it will automatically what? Reflect in your dashboard. That is what makes your dashboard what? Dynamic, not static. So now you press enter here. You don't have to go back there to press enter. The moment you press enter, you get the answer here. So now as a data analyst, we talk about interpretation. So if you are to interpret this, it means you are saying that what? This is the sum of the total net salary for paying all the staffs in marketing departments. Now, you need to also compare this with this. You must give us a value for security, give us a value for credit, give us a value for this. Now, as an Excel expert, you don't need to go through writing that function again. Just click on this very one that you have derived, double tap on this dotted edge. You get other answers automatically. You don't have to go through that process. Now, at the end of the day, how do you identify your trend? Which one is doing better? What is the pattern of the progress? You highlight these two words, argument, and then you will see this quick analysis. Click here, then go to chart, and then pick a graph. And then that graph automatically tell you that what? Operation department generated the highest what? Net salary, while what? Marketing follow. And then the list. But time will not permit us to interpret this properly, because that is the beauty of this work. Not just this, your technical work, your ability to interpret it. So I'll go to PowerPoint and start writing that after my analysis, I discovered that operation has the highest net salary, follow with so amount. You put it in brackets. You don't just mention it. Followed by marketing with this amount, and the list is this. The difference between the highest and the least is this. That is the correlation. And then you check again. You now find that those ones that are performing almost the same range, you give update on that. You say that, okay, I also observe that the margin between compliance and technology is this. And then you also observe that the margin between audit and legal is this. Then you also observe that what the margin between security and credit is this. What I'm saying right now is what I am telling the data story. So ladies and gentlemen, I know the lecture is fast. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Before tomorrow morning, I will have uploaded this full video. Sit with it and then make sure you master it. And then I'm leaving the line open for question. And then if you want to show appreciation, you are free to do that within the next 5 minutes before we close it. So welcome to Digital Z Hub. Now you can talk. Anybody that have anything to say, the line is open now. Quickly, let's do that within the next 5 minutes so that we can If you know you cannot speak, you can go to the message section. I will view your message. And if you are in the group, I believe the group should be open. Please, Ms. Rachel, if the group is open, allow them to, please open it up for them to comment. You can drop your comment there. You can drop your comment, how you enjoy, how you did not enjoy the class. Please put it there. Put it there. It will make us to improve. Right. Okay, so who is speaking? Let me look at the people that I'm still having here. Wow, I'm still having 12 persons here. That is good. Thank you for staying to the end. So I have Jacob, I have Miriam. Do I have anybody saying anything? Okay, Miriam, go ahead. I think you want to say something. Let's do that fast. You can drop your comment also in the group. If you are not in the group, make sure that you indicate so that we can add you, because there could be subsequent free training on different aspects. So somebody said that the class is really educative and engaging. Thank you very much. Thank you for also making it possible. Right? So is anybody saying anything? Okay. I have Ife with Augustina. Do you have anything to tell us, to tell the audience?
I really enjoyed the lecture.
Thank you.
I hope it will be uploaded. Just watch it at any time.
Yeah, it will. Just go to our YouTube page. I believe the YouTube link must have been dropped. So click on it. When you get there, make sure you subscribe. That is the best way you can appreciate us. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get more updates. Richard, I hope you are still here. Let me know if you have been able to drop it in the group if we have all of them, and also drop it in the comment section if
Yes, sir.
okay, so she have dropped it in the Zoom message section. So just click on it, make sure you subscribe, and then once you subscribe, once I upload, you will get the updates. So Coco, say thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. So I hope we take advantage of the promo or the discount given to you. For all of you that are here right now, I believe you have dropped the account detail. If you are not in the group, get the account detail. Make your transfer. Just 10,000 naira. What others are paying 50,000 because you showed up tonight. Just to tell you that we appreciate you. And I can tell you it's an opportunity. I can tell you this platform, we don't have learners here. These are professionals. All right. This is a professional training. Never measure us with the amount we are giving you. I know it's just that somebody just appealed that we should just go this way. If not, normally I don't like bringing the price down because I discover that sometimes people don't appreciate professionals when the money is too cheap. But I will tell you that never assume that you will thank yourself and your God by joining that class. I'm telling you. And like I said, that section, we are going to cover advanced Excel, down to pivot table, how to create dynamic dashboards, and SQL. So make sure that 10,000 is even a class. If I'm organizing paid seminar, that is not even up to amount I collect per class. All right. So I don't think anybody should miss out. Make sure that you leverage on this opportunity to break into tech. This is a huge opportunity. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thank you. I think at this junction, if you have any other comment, please open the WhatsApp group. Let them keep dropping their comment there. And then we bring the meeting to close. So in case you want to reach out to us, I believe you must have given out the information before I join. We are on Facebook. Just search for Digital Z Academy or Digital Z Hub. We have two different Facebook pages. can check us on TikTok, Digital Z Hub. Most of my classes are short video and updates are always uploaded in the TikTok. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at Digital Z Hub. You can follow us, you can check us out via our website. I believe the details will have been given, www.digitechz.com.ng. Right? Okay, so good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ezekiel. Thank you so much also. Now, bye for now.